Chaffetz says one place we could cut spending is Afghanistan. Right now, the United States is sending $28 million each day to Afghanistan, and that is the addition to the money to support our troops there. So where's that $28 million going? Congressman Chaffetz joins us. Where's that $28 million going?
Well, if you look at just the reconstruction part of the budget, we are on a trajectory to spend $100 billion in just Afghanistan. That's not the fighting. That's not since the beginning of the war. This is just the reconstruction. There is over $19 billion that's been appropriated and yet not designated for projects. The president has requested another $10 billion. So you're talking about close to $30 billion that can be clawed back on projects that haven't even been started yet.
So why isn't that happening? Why
That's why I'm on this show advocating it, because there are tens of billions of dollars there. You know, the president is out there touting the fact that we're out of Iraq. We're not out of Iraq. There are nearly 15,000 contractors in Iraq alone.
That we're paying for.
That we're paying for, yeah. And so you just look at those two accounts alone, and if you go back again to Afghanistan, we're spending more than $1 million an hour just doing the foreign aid part of it, not even the troops.
Let me go to the contractors in Iraq. Is anyone monitoring or auditing these contracts?
Well, we're trying to. I'm on the oversight.
What do you mean trying to? Why can't you?
Well, I got the numbers. These numbers are very real. The president says, oh, we're out of Iraq. We've taken all the troops. He replaced them with his own private army.
I know, but are we paying like, $100 for an aspirin? I mean, is anyone actually, going nickel and diming? I realize it's small potatoes compared to, all the money that's spent. But is anyone actually looking what dollar goes out of the Pentagon to a contractor in Iraq and what we're getting?
We pay a premium. The green zone is very limited. A lot of these people are literally sitting there twiddling their thumbs because they can't even get away from the embassy compound. I think it's a huge waste.
So why are we paying them a premium if they can't even do anything?
Again, this is where we're trying to push the president to say this should not stand.
Well, we've been in Iraq for for 10 or 11 years. I mean, this isn't something that's just come up now. I mean, this money has been pouring into this war and whatever you want to call it now for 10 or 11 years. And has anyone actually gone back to see where we've spent money, what we got for it, and whether or not it was simply just bloat?
Oh, absolutely. There's a special inspector general for Afghan reconstruction. There was what they called the SIGAR, and then they have the SIGIR, which is the special inspector general for Iraq reconstruction. We've had multiple hearings about this. They don't get much attention in the press, but we're talking about. But do they find money, and do we get it back? Do we get it back? No, no. Look at the food service.
What do you mean we don't get it back?
The food service contract within this is the Department of Defense overpaid for food service in Afghanistan to the tune of $750 million.
Someone signed that check. Someone okayed that. Is that someone still at the Pentagon?
These people have not been held accountable. The president's not riding herd on this, and that's what's hurtful. I assume this
goes back to the last administration as well. I assume this is not something that just came up in the Obama administration. This has been a problem for many decades with spending.
But this is the problem. If we're going to go out and spend literally by the tens of billions of dollars, we've got to have the oversight and the responsibility. So we're so loosey-goose on that. So we're furloughing people in Utah that are going to be in the military. At the same time, we are out there obligating tens of billions in Afghanistan. It makes no sense.
But why isn't your oversight actually connecting and creating a product that we're actually either getting our money back or stopping it from going out?
We have introduced legislation. We're having hearings. I'm on this show. I'm trying to do everything I can.
I mean, how about, like, we could be talking till we're blue in the face. I mean, if this money is actually going there incorrectly or overspent, someone's signing for it at the Pentagon, and it costs a lot of money. I mean, it shouldn't take hearings to come up with that.
Well, that's where we have a president of the United States that's supposed to. He said he was going to go line by line. We have a Secretary of Defense. I've introduced legislation, bipartisan legislation, to claw this money back. And let's also remember that since the president took office, there are 130,000 additional federal workers on the federal payroll. Now, you would think that with all these extra resources, they could actually be responsible with the taxpayers' money. So don't tell me you need tax increases when you got all this waste, fraud, and abuse.
Well, I'm with you with the waste and fraud, but I don't see. But a whole other issue is whether or not there really is the oversight and people are held accountable for these, billions of dollars of waste and fraud, and someone signing these checks, and it's appalling. Anyway, Congressman, nice to see you, sir.